Let's break down my pretty massive trading day where I was able to make over 120% profit on one single trade. This is a big one, 116% returns. That's about $1,500 on the day on this short position that I took on ticker symbol DHI. And you can see here, we just hit our take profit and we just got a beautiful fill, $13.30 a contract out, over $1,600 on the day. You guys just saw that live. And I did that using a relatively simple and straightforward MACD trading strategy. So in this video, we're gonna dive into everything you need to know so you can execute on trades like this yourself. And I'm actually gonna show you how much I've made in the last week trading. Again, I do these recaps every day after market close. So let's dive right into today's. Coming into the open today, during pre-market sessions, you can see how we did get flat. Our MAs touched here, and we went into vertical. You could see that real clear vertical move to the downside. DHI does tend to go vertical pretty frequently. Okay, if we look at our crosses or when we came and touched. So that vertical move into the open, well, for one, let's side ourselves in the direction of that specific stock we're trading. So obviously we were trading puts, right? And knowing that, well, off the open, we saw a real quick rejection at our middle VWAP. Our middle VWAP is going to be our mean. So knowing that we opened and were rejected at our middle VWAP here, that let us know that we were going to be in a bearish trend on the day. Okay, so that meant DHI was more than likely going to push down unless we invalidated and broke above. But what we saw was several tests and rejections. So that's the first thing I look for is, well, when we open, first, are we balanced or are we not balanced? Second, we look at our VWAP. We see where we open in correlation to our middle VWAP or our mean. We saw a rejection, started trading below. And we were trading below on our bottom VWAP and what I'll often refer to as our low tide. So we could see this consistency of really lower lows, right? And lower highs. Slightly broke above, but saw a quick rejection. I entered here at 175.08, just about per share. Okay, right around 953. And at the same time, what we could see is that on our MACD, at time of entry, I saw our, at that time, right, largest bar to the downside. We look at our previous bars. Okay, so we were charting lower bars, which meant speeds were increasing. Again, speeds increasing, not necessarily on higher volume, but just more sellers getting involved, pushing this thing down. So keep in mind, when the market's trading vertical, whether it's to the upside or the downside, more people get involved in the move. Now, it's really hard to play a vertical move and walk out with profit because it's all about timing and you got to time either that top or that bottom. And now in this instance, as we saw more people getting involved, right? It's like a ladder. I use this analogy. Trading a vertical move is a ladder in the sense that there's only a certain amount of steps. So let's say you step on the first step. Well, now you've taken that step. The next person to get involved is going to step up on that step higher, right? And now the next person to get involved is going to have to step up on that third step. So you see how the price gets bought up, and it can work the same way to the downside. And you either have to get involved at a higher price, right, in that instance, or it's an upside down ladder and you have to get involved at a lower price. And so the market is just that, it's a marketplace. And so we understand that as we started to go vertical here to the downside and more people started to get involved in this vertical move, and yes, we did come back into balance, but we could see that if you think of this analogy of a ladder, more people continued to get involved and they got involved at lower prices. So we ended up seeing a continuation of this move to the downside. We continued seeing rejections at our mean, lower lows, and trading along our bottom VWAP or our low tide. And I was able to continue holding this because we saw when looking at our envelope system here, that obviously right off the open that we didn't just revert off of our mean, but we did revert down to our further outmost band. Okay, so we were forming bars below our blue band here. And then you could see those bars did come up to our purple band. Okay, these first bar came up to our yellow band. Second 2 bars came up to our purple. Okay, third bar, okay, came up to our purple. We saw another bar below our blue. So again, that's going to validate a true lower low. Price is definitely going lower. We saw here, quick reversion up to our mean. At that point, we could see that we did move back to balance, but that is okay because we weren't just rejected on our mean real quick and traded back down to green. We also saw that at that time, right around just about 10:20, we did not see a cross of MACD. MACD had diverged so far apart that this was a clear fake out, right? If we really zoom in here and we pinch in, well, we would have assumed a reversal, but there was no cross. There was not enough buyers to push this thing back up over our mean, which at that time, again, was sitting around, similar to our entry, around 175. So rejection on our mean. Now that we're back into balance, we could kind of watch here and we could see what bands we were trading on in correlation to our bars. We started forming bars on our green, came back down to our blue. And so momentum here was really just pushing to the downside. We saw 2 or 3 greens and then started reverting to yellows, okay? Reverted back to greens. And then at this point, around 12 o'clock is when I started to really pay attention to things because we reverted back to our red. And we hadn't have reverted back to our red besides that little pop there at 10:20, which we knew was, a fake out when we looked at the MACD. So that would have been, again, you obviously could see here the cross of the MACD, a good sign that things might be starting to turn around. But in relative to our VWAP, we were trading really far off our mean, so you couldn't really take a lot of information from there. But we did start trading sideways a bit. And so at that point, this sideways range, I wouldn't say scared me, but things were definitely looking like we were ready to move back to the upside, especially seeing that cross of MACD. And especially seeing here these bars being formed, showing a lot of strength to the upside. But what is really important to note is that at that time, we did see a very clear rejection off our 8-day EMA. Okay, we got that final flush down to our yellow bar. Okay, you can see there. And at that point, I'm like, all right, let's lock this thing in. I'm up 120%. This seems like a very clear area to take myself out of this move. We started to, see that horizontal movement, which became more prominent, obviously, in the later session, which we did push up from that low. I did time that low perfect, 170.16, within a couple cents, right? So it was an ideal trade, could not have been managed better. And I know that is a lot to kind of decipher and pull apart, but the more you tune into these sessions, you're going to start to understand more and more how the system does work. So with just one of these charts, I wouldn't have been able to make all these decisions. It was using all 4 in cohesion together to really end up at the end of the day being able to capitalize on that 120% move. And I will show you, because I know there are going to be people out there that are saying, that's just, you're just making this up. Well, you can see here the net ROI was 120.99%, the 16 net P&L on that trade. And my running P&L on this, again, capitalized on pretty much as much profit as I could have, right? You can see here peak profit on this position. And then if we look at the chart, you can see my entry here and you can see my exit here. And my exit, it really was almost low of day within quite literally one minute candle, right? I could have held it for an extra minute and maybe caught 3 to 4 more percent. But catching that move and then seeing how we did essentially start then forming higher highs into close, I'm super happy with that trade. I don't think I could have managed it better. So I want to quickly interrupt because I forgot to mention I did post this DHI trade in my mentorship group. You can see here at 9:55, I posted that I bought these DHI 919 170 puts at a 148 fill. And then that was the opportunity where my mentorship group students were able to essentially join and copy that trade that I did take. And then you can see where I did post my exit of 122.97% gross ROI on that trade. Sold those contracts at $330 per contract. And you can see here on the screenshot my entry short to that take profit. And I did have a stop loss here at 177.68. Okay. So with that said, if you're interested in trading live with me every single morning and having access to see and copy my trades, I'll put a link in the description below to my mentorship group. Now, the other trade that I think I could have squeezed a little bit more out of was that FI trade, which was about a 27% profit, 382 net. So FI I did enter at 1050, ended up closing that position at just about 215. So did catch that move right there, which was decent. It was about 1.25% to the downside. And that's why I say I think I could have caught a bit more because you can see really how it slipped into the close. But if we look here at FI, we were getting involved while FI was trading in horizontal. FI did go to vertical, and we saw that very steep move to the downside. But when was that move? Well, we can kind of chart down here to get an idea. I got out of FI right before that vertical move, and I want to talk about why. When we start to see our MAs come together, and we see the cross, the vertical move we know is going to happen at that point. We just don't know if it's going to be to the upside or to the downside. Now, with the trade we just talked about, obviously on DHI, things were pretty clear. I mean, we could see that vertical move coming into the open. We were already pointing downward. But with FI, it's not as clear because looking at our envelope system, well, we were trading on green, reverted down to red, trading on red, crossed below our mean, traded below our mean on red, reverted back up to our mean, reverted back up to green. So again, we saw bars trading on green, bars trading on our other green band here, and then reverted down to our mean. So yes, we were trading around our mean throughout the entire day on FI, and we could use the same analogy. Again, we are going to look at this as our mid-tide, our blue line. That's our 8-day EMA. And then this is going to be our further outmost high tide, our further outmost low tide. So in order to go from low tide back to high tide, we have to cross over our mean. Okay, so we were seeing, the high to mean to low to mean to high to low to mean, okay, to low to high to mean to low. So you can see how that was very clear. The puts through on my software there at 1053. You could see these 919.25s. These were the 136s. Price was 205 per contract when that did come through. But I didn't just take the trade blindly based off my software. I was using, the knowledge that when we were forming these lower bars, they were true lower lows because we were seeing lower bars on lower bands. And the VWAP will tell a similar story. You can see my entry down to our low tide or our bottom VWAP, clear rejection off our mean or our middle VWAP, traded a bit lower, came back up, but not high enough, got this flush. And this really here at this point just looked like our final move to the downside of the day. Knowing that the market was about to go vertical, I felt like we were pretty oversold on the day. That was clear lower low of the day. That was a true lower low, which was validated by our envelope system because that was our lowest bar on our lowest band of the day. So that was our first bar closed below our green band of the day. I was up $400. I said, why risk it? MACD here, you couldn't really read much. And so I did end up taking myself out of that move. So at this point, I could have been more risk on, and I just decided to step back and be a little more risk off. And I want to show you last week's P&L, because the goal here is to continue building the account and finding this consistency. So if we do look at last week, I did end up closing last week up $2,525. So averaging just about $500 per day, right? $505 was my average daily P&L. And we can see here my equity curve. And so really minimal drawdown on the week last week. Keep that in mind. Going into today, I did bump up the size a bit, and I ended up closing today up 1,445. So if we can keep this momentum going, continuing to grow this account, you know, I ideally would like to be able to hold these trades a bit longer, but I can't say no to 25% if we're about to go vertical. And after already capturing you know, that huge trade on DHI of 120% and taking a couple minor losses. Again, I took 7 trades today. I was super happy to walk out with this P&L. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you're interested in following along and copying my trades, I'll put a link in the description to my mentorship, or you can check out my free Discord. I will see you guys tomorrow.